Previously on AMCAP for Black Lives Matter.
So today we'll be visiting 2 local Black-owned restaurants, eating as much of it as possible. For every calorie that I do consume today, I will be donating 2 cents to the NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund.
Today's goal is to get at least 16.19 miles of movement down.
I'm about to cry right now. Okay.
That is good.
My mom had this saying, your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Total calories from Lolo's is going to appear here on the screen, and then macros here on the screen. We'll go out and pick up the next set of food, and we'll set up for the final meal of the day. Alright, so as I was driving to go pick up the next set of food here, I couldn't help but notice I'd be passing by a kind of big landmark. It made some headlines across the state recently, mostly because just about over a month ago, there were some riots over at this Apple.
We're starting to see some images here on the ground of the mall. It looks like graffiti inside. It looks like several people running around.
Jake Paul got arrested. It was pretty wild. And also, too, is probably the closest that Scottsdale has ever come to understanding the severity of racial issues in America, because we live in a very, very nice bubble here. The riots that ensued here at this Apple store caused people to realize, wait a second, this isn't just something that happens in Ferguson, in the Deep South. This is an issue all across the U.S. Now, personally, I wouldn't partake in any kind of rioting, but that's besides the point, because at the end of the day, seeing the riot happening on TV pushed me into asking a question I feel like not a lot of people ask these days, and that's just why, where people just see an action, and then they immediately have a reaction to that action, and they're not asking this quintessential question of why, and trying to understand the motivations behind other people's actions. If anyone hasn't seen this video, that, well, for me, it's made me absolutely speechless, but it really helped me understand the why of rioting. Oh, linking it up either here, I still can't figure out which one I need to point for that little exclamation point. But anyway, if you haven't seen it, I implore you, please, please, please watch it, and it will help you understand why rioting was a legitimate form of protest. Of course, the big question people have now, though, is like, was rioting effective? Is it effective? Is anything we've been doing really effective? The riots, they were effective in achieving 2 things. The first thing was that it shocked a society who had grown numb to mass protests and organized protests. And the second thing, too, it really did, it asked you to take a moment of reflection into your own values and your own psyche. What were you angrier about? Seeing yet another Black mother, Black father, Black child die at the hands of the people who are sworn to protect us, or seeing a multi-billion-dollar corporation lose a couple profits due to rioting? What made you angrier? What made you speak out more? And at the end of the day, if listening to some guy who's about to eat a ton of calories doesn't get that point across, or if you really just don't want to watch the video that I've linked, I'll let SpongeBob do the talking here. Stop number 2, alright. Dessert is served, baby. Oh, you can't read a thing. Now, 4:22, maybe you can see that? I have no idea. Took another nap. We are just going on a walk right now. Currently, we are at a total of 15.25 miles worth of steps. Just over a mile left to go before we hit that 16.19 goal that I have. Walking is not only a perfect opportunity to just get in some nice low-intensity cardio and help just keep your heart healthy, but it's also an opportunity to learn and reflect and meditate. Oh, excuse me. I hope that tasted like mac and cheese. Delicious. Yeah, checking in with you guys once we hit that 16.19 mile marker.
A little later.
It's currently 6:03 p.m. Still Saturday, July 18th. I feel like gluttony incarnate. But good news. 16.88 miles of movement today. We're a couple steps forward from 1619, which I wish we could say was true in the metaphorical sense today. On the walk, I just wanted to bring up another moment of privilege. When the gyms were still open, I'd hit the gym before work and I'd walk through the backwoods of my predominantly white neighborhood with my gym duffel bag. In the winter, I'm wearing a hoodie. I have the hood up. And my only fear is that I might step on some kind of rattlesnake family or get bitten by these bats that were weirdly migrating here one day. So if it meant becoming Batman, I totally take it. But anyway, I have no concern that I'm going to end up on the neighborhood watch email list, which actually happened recently. Someone sent a very frantic email saying, hey guys, watch out. Some dude's been walking around my house recently. And then someone replied, oh, can you describe them? What were they doing? And he said, well, he's black. And that's
it. Thankfully, there are systems in place to help combat that. Blanking on the name right now, I think it's Nextdoor who's currently working on the system. I'll throw up the name of the actual organization if it isn't Nextdoor, but they're currently working on putting in the checks in place to make sure that when you report some kind of suspicious behavior in your neighborhood, it asks you, okay, what else was this person doing beyond being black? It puts in that necessary step that people need on a regular basis just to check this implicit way of thinking that we've had ingrained in us for as long as the moment we've been born, to just draw these conclusions without any really clear, logical, linear progression based on unfounded assumptions about what someone's skin color implies about them. But yeah, I think 30 more minutes of laying on my bedroom floor and contemplating the meaning of life, and I should be good then to stay strong.
Many minutes later.
Oh, mood back up to 120% right now. What we've got right here is an assortment of both personal pies, a scone, and a cookie from Sugar Jam Bake Shop and Bistro located in Scottsdale, Arizona, headed up by Chef D, who has won countless city awards for just one of the best bake shops in the city. And what we've got here is a pecan pie, pecan just sounds so conceited. A apple cherry crumble, a sweet potato pie, blueberry scone, and their loaded Reese's peanut butter cup cookie. I know what you're thinking once again, Bruce. Looks like there's been bites taken out of it. Once again, Sister Cax. But of course, though, desserts aren't quite complete without some ice cream. Some Ben & Jerry's here, and I know we're trying to support local black-owned restaurants here, but I ended up going with Ben & Jerry's because they have by far been this model corporation for just fighting against systemic racial discrimination. The one issue, though, is I will say peace, love, and occupation don't mix, guys. If you know, you know. If you don't know, check out the link at the bottom down there. Anyway, they had that absolutely awesome photo explaining the importance, if not necessity, of defunding the police. I won't go into detail now because that video would be hours upon hours long. Long story short, defunding the police does not necessarily mean abolishing the police. It does mean reallocating funds appropriately. And then so they did have this photo that we're going to recreate right here. Netflix and Chill, one of their new flavors here, as in if you haven't Netflix and Chilled with your significant other or alone, the documentary The 13th, what are you doing, guys? We'll go ahead and defund the police and reallocate funds appropriately across different community organizations. What I will say briefly on the topic of defunding the police, though, a lot of people counter, oh, what does that look like? You're just going to send the country into mass chaos. As with a lot of the issues that we're currently tackling right now, the solution is going to require radical innovation. We're so used to, as a society in a whole, incremental innovation, so taking the current systems in place and then making some minor changes. And imagine, iPhone comes out, radical innovation, first iPhone. But then afterwards, incremental innovations, where, making it a little bit more sleeker, adding a couple more features and whatnot. At the core, same exact thing. If we're going to expand this iPhone analogy to the rest of America, the systems in place, they've been incrementally changed over time. It's slavery to Jim Crow, mass incarceration. Same exact goals are achieved at the end of the day. When it comes to defunding police, what this looks like, people can't quite imagine right now. It's going to take serious brain power behind it to reimagine what we as a society have known for hundreds of years. Part of that requires everyone hopping on board and committing to this idea of a better future for everyone, where all lives actually matter because Black lives matter. But until then, we're stuck in this perpetual system of incremental innovation. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and try to get this thumbnail picture taken here, and then we'll dive right in to this sweet end to an AMCAP day. Around 6:58 p.m. Same day. Head and get this out of the way. Whoops, there that goes. All right. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Divine. Absolutely divine. With peanut butter, sweet and salty pretzel swirls, fudge brownies. We're gonna go back to that metaphor once again of One Direction. Here we brought together the best of the best. Put them in the one spot. And they are making some beautiful, beautiful music in my mouth right now. Oh, that is good. Let's jump into the sweet potato pie, though. Right, just look at that there. Oh, baby. Here we go. Chef D, Thanksgiving came early. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Wow, that's good. All right, strategy, in case I can't finish it, we're gonna eat the filling out of it, we'll leave the crust. And then if I got room for the crust, we'll go for the crust. But this filling is just too divine. Chef D for divine. My goodness. Oh, bless her soul. one too. Apple cherry crumble. I remember I went in there and I was like, can I get one of your cherry crumbles, please? And he goes, oh, that's actually an apple cherry crumble. Is that okay? And I'm just like, is that okay? It's even better. Killed it again, Chef D. Apple, cherry, did I just say Terry? Cherry. Wow, sugar's already hit my head. Apple, cherry, crumble, down. Oh, this boy's dense. And do not worry, do not fear, all crust will be eaten. And here we've got a loaded Reese's peanut butter cookie. A little bit of that peanut butter goodness of Ben & Jerry's on top. Peanut butter on anything makes it 1,000 times better. Second goes on, edible. Immediately. Doesn't matter what it is, it's edible now. Now it's rich. Gotta take a moment. Look at this beauty here. Get that loaded Reese's peanut butter cup cookie, a little bit of that brownie inside the ice cream. Oh my goodness. One Direction magic right there. Let me know in the comments down below too what either your favorite pie is or what your favorite Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavor, just ice cream flavor in general is. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know if this pecan pie is happening tonight, guys. I'm sorry. It is just so dense. Chef D for divine, and then Chef D for dense. Oof, let you relax there. That'll be for tomorrow. Or next month, one of the two. Oh, I'm seeing the fifth dimension right now. Ooh. I never thought I'd find it, but I think I just found my sugar limit. Oh, wow, that's a slap to the face. A delicious slap to the face, don't get me wrong. Oh, but a slap to the face. I hate to say it, guys, but I think we might be taking another L right here. Do not worry, like I said, this food will be consumed over the next week, month, year, decade, millennia. Calories consumed up until this point in this meal here, and then macros on this side. Total calories consumed here, and then now total macros for the day there, and then total amount of money raised somewhere here. Who knows? We'll figure it out. On my face. Ooh, who knows? As the last little closing note, you know, alright, I am just one dude sitting in my childhood bedroom, eating as much food as possible without throwing up. What exactly else can I do? And that's encourage everyone at home who's watching to not stop the fight for equality, justice, especially when it comes to racial discrimination in this country and supporting Black lives. And you know, what exactly can you do to make sure that the fight continues? These are all just steps that really, I hope anyone can do. And that first starts with just voting. Voting in general. We have the election coming up. Voting is becoming more and more of a privilege every single day. And afterwards, discuss having those uncomfortable conversations, whether it be with your friends, your families, your coworkers, about what it means to be Black in America, what privilege means, and how exactly we can come together and, you know, explore different options to help tackle systemic discrimination that has been going on for far too long in this country. And then that brings us to education. Educate yourself. And whether that be documentaries, reading articles, listening to podcasts on your walks, whatever that method is for you, never, ever, ever stop learning. That's just general life advice. Then, of course, we've got participation, participate in protests, participate in discussions once again, and just be there on the front lines with people who are leading the charge and leading this generation forward. And then finally, last but not least, repeat without having to be prompted to do so, and taking the initiative to go out and continue learning, growing, understanding, building empathy until you fully, deeply understand the struggles that Black people in America have been experiencing and are impassioned to do something about that. And then just never rest, you know, because Black Lives Matter is not trending anymore as a hashtag doesn't mean that it's over. And that'll conclude this video for now. There's so much that I didn't say that needs to be said, but there's a wealth of knowledge out there. Go seek it. Hopefully this provided some kind of platform to jump off of, and hopefully I brought some kind of entertainment in the process of doing so by stuffing my face with all this food. So if you guys like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and then please let me know down in the comments too. I really want to be able to continue giving a portion of ad revenues going forward to deserving organizations, helping to fight all the chaos and disparities going on both in the US and abroad. So if you have ideas for food-themed videos and an awesome organization that you want me to support through the ad revenues, assuming that I somehow reach monetization on this channel, YouTube, please. Call me out too down below if I said something that wasn't necessarily appropriate. I am still in the process too of learning myself. And with that, I'll leave you guys with 2 last words here. All lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. And in the words of Representative John Lewis, civil rights leader who passed away last night,